Okay, so I missed last week, and I'm going to say that's because of the holiday. Yeah, that's going to be the excuse I use. Anyway, this week, though, I have a treat for you. This is 40 years old. Came out in 1982. It's called a Coleco Vision. And to be honest, this is the closest you're going to find to an unboxing of one of these ever. This thing is in immaculate condition. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, it still has the price tag from Hecht's department store. And back then it was $179. The Coleco Vision was basically a competitor to the Atari. Ignore any background noises you may hear. I have cats and they're trying to invade my space here. So without further ado, let's dive into this thing and show you what the Coleco Vision was like. Real quick, let me show you the back before I get too far into this. Okay, obviously it's like the Nintendo back in the day. There's a bunch of games on there that you could get and so on and so forth. The controllers for this thing on the side, they show it to you. They're really weird. But this is a system that I grew up playing, strangely. My neighbor had one, and he would bring it over to my house once in a while, and we would play it for a few hours, get in some time on some old-timey games like Donkey Kong, and we'd really have a good time with it. So let's see here. When I pop this open, first thing you're going to notice is, look how white this styrofoam still is. It hasn't been smoke damaged, hasn't been anything, so it's really in good condition. Has the Coleco Vision thing right there. That's the first step on, wow, the condition of this is nuts. Okay, back then, this one particularly came with Donkey Kong. Super cool, super cool. Has this little adapter to it, so you can plug it into a more modern TV, but not like a crazy HD TV. Basically, you'll put this into the antenna port, and then you just plug this thing into the back of this. All the paperwork is still here. You know, this is your owner's manual, model 2400. Tells you how to hook it up. I mean, look at those old electronic things. Those RF switches are nuts. It's really crazy when you think of the era that this was created in. You know, black and white TVs were still kind of a thing. Now, I may not talk during this whole thing, but I mean, it's kind of an unboxing, and I'm kind of wanting to look at this as bad as you guys did, because I really haven't looked at this. My wife brought this home for me out of the blue. I have no clue how she found one in such good condition, but she did, and she got it for an exceptional price. So we went ahead and we picked it up. Or she went ahead and picked it up and brought it home, and I woke up grumpy and she handed it to me, and I was happy after that. This is your color tuning instructions for your television set. Can you believe that they had tuning instructions for your television set? Kind of nuts. But it has Donkey Kong on it, and it's cool. This is my warranty registration card. I wonder if they'll still honor that. I have a high doubt that they will. Coleco Industries. This is my cartridge warranty. I'm pretty sure they're not going to honor that either. But neat that they gave those back then. This is just a quick sampling of a bunch of different games that they have for the Coleco Vision. You know, there's the actual machine. And then you can see, like, most of these were arcade games. And by arcade games, I mean 70s arcade games that they released here in the 80s. Mousetrap, Spectre, Ladybug, which is actually very good. It's kind of a Pac-Man-ish type style game. Zaxxon, that was created by Sega. That's actually a very good game. All things considered, I mean, none of them are as good as the games we see today, but for their time, it's kind of nutty. The sports games are kind of all over the place. I wouldn't say any of them are great, but none of them are terrible, I guess. Blackjack and poker. I mean, I have a phone. I don't really need that. Strangely, the Smurfs, Gargamel's Castle was actually very good. That's one that I will be picking up. Mr. Turtle. And then the expansion module number 1. So this is going to be my next buy. This thing would be illegal as all get out today. What this thing allows you to do is play Atari games on your Coleco Vision. Could you imagine if the Nintendo came out with an expansion that lets you play PlayStation and Xbox games? How quickly they would be sued into oblivion. So it's nutty, the wild, wild west of video games back then. And then that's expansion module 2, which is just a steering wheel. This is just more crap from Coleco. These are handhelds from back in the day. I've actually played that one. And I have played the football. I have played that. A kid across the street from me had one of those growing up. So this is more Coleco stuff. This right here is the cartridge instructions for Donkey Kong. You know, I know it's hard to say because nowadays they don't give them out anymore. But you used to buy a game and you would get a instruction manual for the game itself. Tell you what buttons to hit and what have you. And that's basically what this is. You know, it gives you a quick rundown on what you need to do and what buttons you need to hit and bonus values and so on and so forth. Now to the meat and potatoes of this thing. Look at this power brick. Oh my God, that thing is huge. Like if you hit somebody with this, they would cease to be. It just would be bad. I mean, the Nintendo, when you think back, like that's a big AC adapter. This thing is a power brick. Like, I mean, it's bigger than my computer's power source. That's insane. Oh, it's very tightly put in here. Oh, wow. This has been sitting in this box so long that some of the styrofoam has actually kind of grafted itself onto this cord. But this is how you hook it up to your TV. Basically, one of these sides is going to go into the back of the Coleco, and that side goes into the back of the TV or into the back of the thing that I showed you earlier. And the Coleco Vision itself. Games go in here. I mean, it still has the consumer's please note on there. You know, telling you to read the owner's manual. I mean, this thing is in amazing condition. I cannot undersell the condition that it's in. Your controllers, they just sit in here, but they also plug in here. So when you're not using one, you just kind of flop it back in there as such. But basically, you have your wheel here. This is your analog stick. My cat is going nuts right now. This is your analog stick. It's very, very stiff. These are your shoulder buttons right here. And then these numbers, these phone style numbers, they all do different things for different games. So each game is going to have its own thing. Unfortunately, nowadays, when you buy games for these, you're just buying the cartridge. You're not really going to find complete in box very often. And when you do, you're going to pay a premium for them. So you kind of have to learn what those do just by trial and error nowadays, and that is no fun. Outside of that, I mean, I don't know what more I can really say about this. Obviously, you got a reset button, on off switch, cartridge goes in here or in there. That's a secondary port for different styles of games. They came in a few different sizes. The machine was really weird. And then in the back, of course, you have all your hookups. You know, power brick goes right there. And that's where you plug into your TV. So if you've never seen one of these, it's kind of cool, just for gaming history's sake. And if you have seen one of them, let me know down in the comments if you played with these as a kid, what your favorite games are. One of these days, I assume, I will figure out how to record off of this, and maybe I'll, review a game or two. But I'm not sure yet, because I really have no clue how to record off of something so old. Short of if I can hook up okay, so here's the only thing I've come up with. I take a VCR, and I tape directly off of the VCR. Then I transfer my VCR over to DVD, and then I take the DVD and I put it into my TV, which is a lot of steps to record a few minutes of gameplay. So I got to find an easier way to do that. If I do find an easier way to do that, I will put some stuff out. But if you've made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button. And please share this if you can. I'm a new station to YouTube, and as I've said before, the algorithm really doesn't care about new people. They want to push the people that everybody knows, because that will get all their views. And the more eyes that I get on this, the more likes that I get, the more comments that I get, the better chance I get for YouTube to go ahead and push me in their algorithm a little bit. So if you can do all those things, it would be greatly appreciated. And until next time, I'll see you guys around.